Hey guys, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, or Microsoft Flight Sim as it's more commonly known. We are here at my home airport where I learned to fly in Brampton, Ontario. And I thought for this first video, this getting to know the game, or the sim, getting to see what it can do. Oops. And as we learn all the controls, we are going to take a look around. First, let's take a look at the airport. The airport here is out in the countryside, north of the city. That's the main terminal building there. There's some other buildings around the area, a bunch of hangars. This is a fairly good representation of what this area looks like, actually. A lot of orange-topped hangars. The buildings are actually blue with orange roofs. Very easy to spot from the air. But it's not bad. The roads, the traffic, all the farmers' fields, and the taxiways and the runways. Pretty accurately modeled. The fueling area. Not bad for an autogen airport. Anyway, we're going to head down into the aircraft. And today we are going to be flying let's see if we can find it here, Cessna 172. This is the airplane I learned to fly on, and we are going to see if we can get a better look at it. We are going to use this one. So we're going to fly from here. We are going to fly down to Toronto City Centre Airport, Toronto Island Airport, which is off to the southeast. And we're going to go see what it's like to fly and how she does. So let's get back into the inside of the airplane. I am using Track IR, and that has given me the ability to look around as I am. I'm still working on binding my controls, so some of them might be a little bit off. I'm going to temporarily turn off Track IR for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up. This is just going to be a free flight for fun, and we'll see how it goes. The flight should last about 40 minutes or so. We're going to take off from here, head southwest, loop around Toronto International Airport airspace, come down to the lake, turn left, fly along the lake to the airport. Now the airport here, as I mentioned, is autogen, so there is no customization here. This is just the way it produces it off of the maps that it accesses. Toronto Island Airport, however, is a handcrafted airport, so we'll be able to see what the details are like there. Winds are out of the west, so we'll be taking off on runway 27 and probably landing to the west down at the island, which should give us some nice views as we come into the airport. So we got the guy on the push cart there. I don't know why we don't have that at this airport, but that's fine. So let's go back in and we will get the aircraft ready to go. So I'm going to turn the master and the batteries on. That's fine. Get the warning. We are going to make sure the mixture is fully in, which it is. Turn that one off too. We got some cabin controls for heat and air, which we were not going to need. Flaps are behind there. So let's give this a little blurb on the fuel pump for a second. We'll make sure that the fuel is set to both. Yep. So she'll drain both tanks, which is what we want. We will turn on the beacon, set throttle to about 1/2 inch, and we will start her up. Hopefully. She's gonna Probably want the fuel set to one tank or the other. Alright, let's see if that does it. Haven't started this aircraft before. There it is, yeah. It's been a long time since I've flown. That was the fuel. So she should go now. There we go. It's kind of why we have checklists, but we're just doing this as a fun flight for now. Alright. So we've got everything going. We'll put the nav light on. We'll put our taxi light on. Take a look around. It's, yep, flaps are working. So we're going to ignore Jeff over here on the push cart. We're not going to need it. The aircraft are usually not parked this way. They're usually parked facing west, actually, since that's where the prevailing wind comes out of. So we can turn on a couple other things while we're here. We can turn on the Garmin's here. Let's see what the power switches are. Oh, avionics would help. There we go. So this is where we're heading, CYTZ. You can see the Toronto airspace. We're sitting in a little cutout underneath it. There's actually another ring that goes out. So we are limited on our heights. We will set you to standby. This is our autopilot, which we're not really going to be using today. So let's get going. She's warming up. We're going to taxi down to the runway. Well, we may use the autopilot a little bit. There we go. Don't mind Jeff there with his trolley. We'll just go around him. Now this airport is usually extremely busy. It's probably the busiest, or before the coronavirus pandemic, the busiest training airport in the country. Extremely busy place. Lots of airplanes. Lots of private airplanes out of this airport as well. So we'll watch this guy, make sure we don't hit him. Come out to the taxiway. Two runways here. There's an east-west and a north-south. We're going to head over to take off on runway 26. This little circle ahead of us is the run-up circle. This is where we do our engine checks, run up the engines, make sure everything's working great, but we'll bypass that today. So flying with rudder pedals for the first time. I've flown other sims, haven't used them. I've used the Z function. Where are you going, buddy? I'm coming that way. Use the Z function on the joystick. But using the rudder pedals this time. Yeah, you're coming right for me, aren't you? Okay, well, we'll just take a look over here, see how everything's going. Yep. Looks, whoa, we didn't see that. Looks good. So here's the Alpha taxiway, which we're going to take. Runway 26 is ahead of us. This is not live weather. This is set up for a few clouds, so I wanted to have a little bit of texture in the sky to see how it is. I'm going to cross 1.5 here. Looks good. And middle of the day, so we got some nice light and we can see what we're doing. So again, busy airport, lots of traffic in and out, although I've got traffic on, but there doesn't seem to be much going on here. But that's all good and fine. You can see our routes set up in the GPS there, because I did punch it in the main menu before we came into the sim. Alright, so let's come down here, come to a halt with the brake on. So how are we doing? Pressure is rising, temperature's in the green, everything seems to be good. Coming down, we'll put the landing light on, take the taxi light off. Strobes go on. We won't need the pitot heat. Everything else is looking good. There's the outer marker. We're gonna have to fly around here down to the lake and then come in, which is fine. So without further ado, let's get out there. We'll go 10-degree flap. When I get lined up, I'll put the altimeter on altitude and we'll be good to go. So this is a 172R model probably. It's got the carbureted engine, hence the mixture. The S model has the fuel injected, no mixture control. So on. And altitude. There we go. So here we go. Let's get the mouse out of the way. Slowly power up. Full power. It's 40 knots. 50 knots, and we're up. So we're going to climb out. Flaps up. I'm going to try to climb out about 65 knots. Trim it out. We're going to climb up to about 2,500 feet. There we go. Pull back a little bit on the throttle. Go to get that nose at about the horizon. There we go. So we're out over the farm country here of southern Ontario. So we're going to head southwest.
Toronto approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is type Cessna Skyhawk 2 miles southwest of Charlie November Charlie Tree. Request flight following.
That's my co-pilot.
Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra radar contact 2 miles southwest of Charlie November Charlie Tree 1,700 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
29.902.
Copy Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
So as I mentioned, we're going to climb up to about...
Toronto approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
We'll keep it at about 2,000 feet. Hold it there. Set our directional gyro to about southwest, and we'll tell it to go heading back. There we go. All right, that's going to take us where we want it to go. We'll be able to look around and hold our altitude here. Pull her back to about 2,300, 2,200, and we're going to cruise. So I was a little surprised when I just recently got a new gaming machine. Specs are in the description below for the main portions. But I set up the game, and the recommended setup is not ultra, but it's very high. So it's still looking pretty good. Got some nice reflections on the glass there, as you can see, which is very intensive on the GPU. Scenery looks good. Granted, we're only about 1,500 feet up. But I recognize the area very much, and it is looking good. Very impressed. Some people were saying they're not sure if they want to go with the game this early or the sim this early. Understandable. I think it's going to be an amazing journey. They said, you know, this is something that over the next 10 years is going to develop incredibly. And I look forward to the trip. They're already starting to come out with add-ons, which I'll be taking a look at some of them, not all. Again, it's can get very expensive as you go. Leave the landing light on because we're down so low. That's good. So the lake's over there, so I'm going to turn this a little bit more to the south. There we go. This would be a gorgeous day to fly. I think we're seeing she's a little bit bumpy, which is actually pretty normal for this type of environment and weather. It is not always smooth, especially down low. A lot of thermals and stuff like that. Let's take a look outside and take a look at the aircraft. We'll go into drone mode. Find the keys. Don't want to hit the mic. So there's the aircraft. Looking pretty good. Nice cloud there in the background. This is a very, very nice looking sim. Very much so. So if you don't know, I'm using Track IR. It's an infrared tracking system. It's clipped onto my headset, and it allows me to move my head, and the vision will follow it around. They are also working on a VR system to come in to do that. I don't have that capability, but that could be pretty cool as well, doing this in VR. So Toronto is off that way. We're just flying around the Pearson airspace, as I mentioned. So we're currently coming up towards the Oakville area, and Lake Ontario is right over here. We'll turn a little bit more. One thing I can't wait for them is to get seasons going. It's something I know that they're working on, but can you imagine looking out here in October and seeing the leaves all changing color and all that starting to happen, or in the spring with trees maybe not having leaves on them, but greenery starting to come up. I think that would be pretty cool. Let's recenter here. There we go. So I've got about 14 years of flying under my belt. I don't fly anymore, but I used to. A lot of small general aviation stuff like this. Oh, there's an airplane. You see the lights in the sky. And I learned to fly at that airport, and flew out of there for 14 years, various aircraft. Flown across Canada and down into New York State on a number of occasions. So Toronto City Centre Airport, or Billy Bishop Airport as they call it now, is a lakeside airport. It's one of the few that are still left out there in the world. Very scenic. Chicago had one they called the Midway, but they shut that down after 9/11. But it's a very scenic run-in, and if you're coming in from the east, landing to the west, you get a beautiful view of the city as you come in and land. You see CN Tower, Sky Dome, the business center. It's all there. There's a little shopping mall or something down here. Take a look. Very nice. See maybe where power lines are running. You can see the imprint of where the towers would be. So all this is being generated off of Bing Maps. And Bing Maps, obviously owned by Microsoft, is...
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra approach continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
Thank you. There's another company that is providing the software that creates the 3D buildings based on the satellite images and photo images. And it's doing it all in real time as we're flying along. And it's accurate enough that you can actually find your house. If you know where it is, you can go there and you will see it. Probably doesn't pay to get too close to it because it might look a little bit funky up close, but from the air, we're accurate enough that you can see everything. And this is, I don't know how old these photos are when this was taken, but this is what the area looks like. So we're coming up on the lake. See Lake Ontario there. That's the bridge that crosses over the end of the lake to the south side. Hamilton, Ontario is over there. Oakville is going to be over this way. We're coming up, actually, I think more towards Burlington now. And the south side of Lake Ontario. And of course, you've got Lake Erie over this way. Two lakes at the bottom of Ontario. So 150. Follow this road down here to the lake, and then we'll head in along the lake. But I'm really impressed. Really impressed. So I've flown a lot of airliners, but I know they're still working on some of the airliner stuff, some of the autopilot, LNAV, VNAV stuff is still being developed, and it's not quite 100% there. So what my plans are for the first little while is I'm going to do the flight training that comes with the game, so that people new to flight sims can see it and see what that looks like. I'm going to do some of the landing challenges. I'm going to do the landing challenges as well. I'm going to do the bush training. There's a couple bush things in. It's like month-long adventures in the bush. So every day you've got to do some bush flying and get from here to there and navigate just basically on descriptions, like follow this river 5 miles to the lake, and then turn right along the lake, and then go to here. And hop from like Bush Airport to Bush Airport. Nice golf course down there, which will be pretty good. And if any of you have anything you want to see, if there's a little short route, maybe a 30-35 minute route that you want to see, or there's an area you want me to fly over, your hometown or whatever, you want to see how it's modeled, let me know, and we'll do that as well. Any excuse to go flying, really. So we're not doing too bad. We're coming up to the lake. There's let's try to see where we are. It's probably Burlington. Although, to be fair, everything runs into each other here. They used to be independent little towns and villages and stuff, but nowadays with the sprawling metropolis, it just carries right along the lake, and you just see signs saying you're now entering Oakville, you're now entering Burlington, but there's no change in the buildings. It's all the same. There's another airport out this way, the Burlington Airport, actually. Oh, there it is, over there. You can just see it in front of the seat. There's the Burlington Airport. So we've come a little bit further west than we normally would. Well, that's fine. Now the other view we have, that was the drone camera view when I first went outside, is this external view. So this is another way you can fly it. From outside, it gives you some of the gauges, up in the upper left, your compass and directional gyro, bottom left, airspeed, engine, fuel, and on the right, your flaps, trim, and
Hamilton
altitude.
approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 2,200 feet.
You can fly this way. It is an option. It gives you a chance to see your aircraft. There are set views. You can also switch around here and see them. But it allows you to look outside. You can look around. There is a neat feature here. I'll show you now. Is this one. So this is called the active pause. The simulator's still running, everything's still going, but it freezes the airplane where it is. And this will allow you to look around if you want to get better looks at the aircraft. You can do that as well. And then to get her going again, you just come off pause. Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Let's go back inside.
Cleared through Charlie Airspace Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Obviously it didn't like that one. Gets your attention. But having spent, a lot of years flying from inside here, I do kind of like the view from inside. And you can kind of get out and lean over and look down. You can see right there, that's the wheel. So you can do a pretty good job of getting up to the glass and looking down, seeing what you want to see. All's pretty good. It's all pretty good. Alright, so we're coming up to the lake. So we kind of turn here at the lake a little bit, start heading eastward. Let's put heading mode. There we go. You can see the smudges and the staining and the little scratches on the glass, which is really, really neat. And then you've got the ability to have the reflections as well. especially at night. You get a lot of light reflecting, which is pretty awesome. So let's go a little bit further to the east. And we'll head out along the lake shore. So it'll be interesting to see how much they built up around downtown Toronto, as the airport is, like I said, a custom build, one they've given a little extra care to, but the city should have got a little bit of too to make it look nice. So probably like the CN Tower, some of the buildings. I know from photos I've seen that the buildings actually have the proper names on them, the bank buildings and stuff, so that is pretty cool. Marina there, sailboats, 2D sailboats. It's really nice flying along here at night. This is all lit up, and as you head into the city, all the lights come out. And if you got a little bit of cloud like this, lower down, about 2,000 or 3,000 feet, as you fly in, you get the lights on the bottom of the clouds. Looks really, really cool. So we're 17 and a half nautical miles away from the island. So the aircraft does come with checklists. If you go to the menu up here, you can see this. Here's your checklist. Probably the before starting engine checklist I should have done. I would have found the fuel switch. Again, things that these were second nature when I was actually flying the airplanes, but you lose it after a while. But all the checklists are here, and it's from everything from the small bush planes, which are very basic, up to the airliners will have this. So you don't have to be too intimidated. You can walk you through it. There's tips that'll highlight the instrument that they're telling you to look at if you don't know what it is or where it is. So it's all very user friendly. All kinds of controls up here. There's the AI control who's doing my comms, so you've heard him talking. There's the tower, camera modes, map modes. You can change the weather from in here. There's a VFR map you can turn on if you want to look at it. But we're not going to bother. Since I know the area, this is my little neck of the woods. I'm going to turn in just, I'll show you, it's a little dark here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of lighting on here. There we go. A little bit of lighting here. The shadows make it a little dark. We will turn in a little bit more. Don't want to be too far out over the water here. General rule for VFR aircraft, especially single engine, is stay with a gliding distance ashore. If the engine cuts out, you got to be able to make it down. So we don't want to get out too far. So if you've been looking forward to the sim, let me know in the comments below what it is you're most excited about. I'm loving the graphics. I mean the terrain, it looks awesome. Even though I'm not running at the highest level, I mean this is awesome. I am running on a 4K 32-inch ultra high def screen, so I do have it is big in front of me, and I can see everything, and the clouds look awesome, and they're volumetric, and there's shadows under the clouds. It almost looks like the real thing, and that's pretty awesome. So we're getting close. Not sure what that little hump of land is now. You do see things like this. This is not handmade scenery, like over here. This is photo interpretation by the software. So you will find things like this where there's little glitches and stuff in the terrain. To be expected. And really, if you're flying at 8, 10, 30,000 feet, you're not really going to see it that much from the air. It's only when you're down low that you tend to pick up on these things. So this is Mississauga, or Port Credit actually at the bottom of Mississauga, and Pearson Airport is up around here, probably up there. Toronto's big international airport, which is not a handcrafted airport. It's a generic default airport, but they decided to do the island, I guess, because it's down on the water and looks awesome. So we'll do a track IR reset there. I can see the islands, the Toronto Islands over here. 10 miles away now. This is a flight I've taken a few people on. Is you come down here at night, do this as a night flight. You can circle up over the city, north of the CN Tower, and they get a nice view down on the city all lit up. It's really nice on a cold, clear sky winter day. The air is dead calm, and you get some really nice views. One of my favorite things when I was building time, I used to fly up north before sunset and just hang out until it got dark, and then fly back at night and see all the little towns lit up at night. And at Christmas time, with all the towns decorated out with Christmas lights and everything like that, it was pretty cool to see. So you can see there's the islands. The airport's right over here. So we're going to shortly turn. Actually, we can probably do it now. Head off in that direction. Let's head off about that way. There's the city starting to come in. Render distance. Turn a little bit more. So the city of Toronto starts about here, the old city of Etobicoke. This is Mississauga. There's the downtown core.
Toronto Island traffic, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra 8 miles southwest, 2,000 feet inbound to land, runway 26.
It's interesting he's calling traffic because it does have a tower. Not all day. I think they're about 16 or 17 hours. There are a couple commercial airlines that fly out of this. Air Canada flies out of here. Porter flies out of here. There's a flight training school that flies out of here. And it can get busy at times with aircraft. So that they do have a tower. Again, and they don't operate in the dead of night from about, I think, 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. See the Sky Dome right there, and there's the outer islands. A couple yacht clubs, a lot of boats. Toronto is a lakefront town, so it does have a harbor, a very active harborfront area. And out here is where they would do the Toronto International Air Show over the water. Just see what he said about landing runway 26. Okay, that's fine. So runway 26 is the east-west runway. It's the main runway here. Runs pretty much this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly over the islands, come up around this way, and then we will do the base leg, and then the turn final, come in over the harbor here, the inner harbor, and land on the runway. The terminal and ramps now that are over in this area here. You can really start to see the buildings popping up there along with the CN Tower. We are further out to the water than we normally would be. That's good. We've been looking out for the Q400s flying in here, which are the commercial airliners, or the they're now called back to de Havilland, the Dash. What do they call them? The Dash 8 400s, I believe, was the de Havilland name for them. The CN Tower is looking a little funky. I think it's got a Christmas tree on top of it. Let's see when we get a little bit closer. So down here in the center islands here, there's a park and everything. You can take ferries across and visit. There's a little zoo. There's little amusement stuff you find on it. There are residents that live over here as well. There's residential housing along here, and there's some. This is the industrial area where ships unload. It is they do get the Laker traffic coming through here, and these are, as far as I know, they're unoccupied. I think this one, with the walkway across the spit there, this is a sanctuary, a bird wildlife sanctuary, which is pretty cool. And again, this place, summertime, boats everywhere. All right. So you can see the city there. Yeah, you can see the marina. There's the airport, there's the main runway that runs this way, there's a smaller runway that runs this way. Both basically east-west. There's used to be a north-south, but they don't really use it. And this was a training airfield for the Royal Canadian Air Force back during the Second World War. Oh, there we go. Looks like the tower's cleaned up. Looks better. Oh. Love the reflections here in the water. That looks so cool. And yeah, it's a pretty good view of the skyline. The buildings here along the lake. See some of the buildings here. They're sort of the right shape. I'm sure they'll get more detailed as we get closer. So what we're gonna do is we'll come in. I'm gonna do a reset. I'm gonna take her off the autopilot. And fly it in for landing. There we go. So we're going to ease back on the throttle. We'll get her down into the white and put down the first chunk of flaps. I'm going to want to trim for probably about 65. Hold it, make her turn. We're going to basically head north on base leg, coming over the islands here. Let's get that speed down. We want to nose up. 65 is where we want to be. Yeah, you can see the walking paths for the bird sanctuary there. Come on. The RPM is sitting around 1500. Go next set of flaps. We'll only need two notches of flaps. Retrim. Stable on the approach. Another traffic coming in. And here we go. Final. Throttle's looking lovely. Turn a little soon. Got a lot of lights on this one. That's fine. I'll give you a look out the window as we come in.
Toronto Island traffic, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is on final runway 26 to land.
Gotta remember to change that call sign next time we're in. The one thing I do wish they had in this, which they don't, is the replay function. It's not in here. I think X-Plane has a really good replay function, so you could actually land and then go back and replay and look from the outside, and pick a spot and watch the airplane come in from. I do wish they had that here. Which they don't. Let's go up here into landing view. Oh, we're looking good. There's the city coming up. You can see there's some of the Lakers on the water. The bank. I recognize the buildings. I mean, they've done a good job. Bank buildings and stuff. The condos along the lake. Very recognizable. There's the kind of chunky CN Tower and the Sky Dome. Now, Orbex is doing a series of city improvements. The first one out is London, which I'm going to look at. It'd be nice if they did a Toronto one and they could actually put in custom, a little graphical error on the water there, put in a custom buildings for Toronto, make that look better. Runway 26, it says we're a little low, but that's fine. This has a steep approach for the airliners, so it's going to look a little off, but it's nice. I'm getting my hand back into this, and it's all coming back to me. There we go. Coming in. Pull back. Power off. Flare. And we're down. Flaps up, we'll get off at the next exit. Braking action. Alright. And we are clear. And we are down. We'll just come over here. See a guy over there. Well, there's a couple guys over there. Not sure where they want me to. I think they want me to park over where that guy is there. Not the ones with the carts, but the guy standing all by his lonesome. GSX is who are known for their ground crew add-ons, or they're doing an add-on for here. So see, the buildings look, some of them look a little funky, some of them are not bad. Be interesting to see. I should have probably gone, I don't know where they want me to park. Oh, that guy's leaving, so I'll go over there where he was. Now, I'm still binding my keys. Some people they're set up with when they're using it. Go on, you're going the other way. They're set up on multiple things right now, and I got to go through and reset them as I need them. Get your twin engine out of here. Not sure what that is. It looks like a Piper. But we'll go park over here. me. Bring it around. There we go. We'll put it right there. So, parking brake on. Turn off the strobes, the landing light, nav light. Pull the mixture. Avionics are off. And that is that. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the like button. Hit the bell notification. And we will see you again next time. Bye for now.